2018. You know, I'm going to put the year out there, you know what? Because that's when I'm doing this. That's when I'm doing this. It's a whole new ball game. It's a whole new ball game. I ain't holding nothing back. You know, you subscribe, you like, you don't, it's okay. It's about being real, right? We're out there, we're hearing a lot about hustling, entrepreneurship. We're hearing about these go-getters and they're going in. But you know what, man? We don't want to talk about somebody. I want to talk about this dude. Yeah, I'm going to talk about this guy, right? Because you got to understand that when you're out there doing something, when you got a vision and you're putting it together and you're moving forward, you know, every choice you do, everything you decide to do, every choice you make, I should say, everything that you put down on paper, you got to understand there's this guy that follows along in this entrepreneurship world, this hustling world, this part of you becoming better and you becoming greater, right? That's what we're talking about today. So hold on. What am I talking about? Consequences. Consequence. That's the word for the day, man. Consequence. Say that with me. Consequences. For everything you do, right? For every cause, there's an effect, right? We've heard this before. There's karma. You reap what you sow. There's everything. But we never hear people in the leadership world talk about consequences. You know, whether you think you make a choice, and it might be a great choice, there are consequences for the decisions that you make, and you might not even have no idea, man. It might be something that you might, you know what, it's okay, I'll just do this tonight. But guess what? Later on down the road, you're going to reap that, whether it's positive or negative. That's our mission here, is to reap positive consequences. But there's times in our life when we think we're on a positive track, and we're on a positive road, and we're moving ahead. Man, people sometimes are going to get hurt by the choices that you make. And you don't mean to hurt them, but it happens. And you know what? You're doing what you're doing so you can help people. But at the same time, in order to grow, in order to get somewhere higher level, that means you might have to take a hit. It means you might have to learn a lesson. You might have to get knocked down in order to climb up 2 stairs. You have to make this determination. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is what you're about to do worth it? If it's positive and you know what, I'm going to go ahead and invest. If you play in the stock market, man, can you live without that money? If you invest $1,000, you invest 10 grand, right? It doesn't matter. There are consequences with the choices that you make. You might lose that money, but check this out. You might think, yeah, you know what, I lost that money, but what really did you lose, you know? Well, you know what, I got to go back and I got to rebuild that money I lost. Or, you know what, maybe you hurt a relationship because you bet on the wrong stock or whatever, right? That people can't go to because of choices they made, man. You know what? We might live in a free society, but I know a lot of people, man, they just can't get in a car and drive across the United States because of the choices they made in the past, right? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying. You know, if you're on parole or you on paper because of the choices you made, they may have looked good right then and there. You know, that $100 tip might have looked good, but it wasn't your money. You took it, right? Or whatever it was. At that moment in time, you were asleep to the consequences that could happen. Man, I'm telling you right now, you could ask anybody in prison right now. If you knew that you were going to be in prison, right, for something you did 10 years ago, would you have done it? The answer is always, heck no. Man, if I'd known I'd still be here, or I would be in this place, I would never know. You see, we don't see it. Or even the businessman, the people who get divorced, all these things that happen in our lives, man, there's always a consequence with every choice and every decision. The word for today is consequences. I'm trying to encourage you to become conscious of what you're deciding to do. Make sure you understand the ramifications that will follow what choice you make in your life. Can you handle it? Can you carry it? Are you strong enough? Would you have what it takes to say, you know what? I can absorb the consequences of this decision. Because if you can't do it, then don't do it. Be careful. Be careful. No one is above temptation. If you think you're all that in a bag of chips, now, well, let me tell you this. Here comes the test. Because no one is above temptations. You will be tested and you will be tried to see if you're the real McCoy. But if you don't think you're not, the consequences that are going to come because you think you're all that, right? You got this chip on your shoulder and you can't be knocked down. Comes the test to really prove that theory, to see if you're really all that. Because I'm going to tell you, the test is usually bigger than who you really are, right? To make you who you want to be. That's what tests come, to make you stronger, to make you better. But guess what? In order to rise up, that means we got to be taken down a little bit. Always remember this, man. Don't believe everything bad they say about you. You heard that before. But don't believe everything good they say about you either. Come on now. Great success comes great humility. You got to be walking with humility. And understand this. If you're understanding the choices that you're about to make, right, if they're going to lead you to a path of success, that you have to be conscious of the decisions you make, because there's consequences with everything you do, whether it's good or bad. And you want to make sure that you're aligned with that type of outcome that you're looking for. But you got to make sure that you can absorb the consequences. Sometimes in order to get to this place, we might have to you might have to get knocked down 3 or 4 times in order to get here. It sucks. I'm telling you, it's a crazy place that we live in. It's a crazy principle how it works. In order to climb 10 steps, you might have to fall 4 times before you can get to where you gotta be, because the lessons are learned in the pit, right? The lessons you embrace, and what don't kill you, what will make you stronger. And that's how you grow, and you're growing and you're growing, but you keep striving, and you know the consequences, man. They're hurting you, setting you back, man. But you keep moving forward, because eventually you can look back and say, wow, I reaped that, but it didn't take me out. You know what? I sowed that, but it didn't take me out, right? But it made you stronger so that you didn't have to do that again. So you can help others rise up. Hey, don't go that direction, because let me tell you what the consequences are if you decide or you choose to go that path. So now you can help others turn to the right way, so they don't have to take the hard knocks in the head, because you already took them. You know, a lot of people in leadership, man, they think it's all about them. Come on now. When you understand that a true leader isn't building followers, but building more leaders, man, when you empower others and you can help them understand these principles, how they work, and one of these principles is consequences. There are consequences in every decision you make. And when you can empower people to really have that type of mindset where they can see it, they get up. Now they're walking with the sense of direction. They're walking in a sense of keen sharpness, where they realize that every step they take, every thought they have, every word they say, everything they see, right? Ooh-wee, everything they hear, there's consequences with it. If you decide to listen to this guy over here and he's talking about nothing, you decide to keep listening to him, before you know it, you start talking like him. Come on now. If you decide to go watch pornography, if you're watching this stuff that's garbage, you start to feed your eyes, you start to see that everywhere you go. Now listen to me now. If you're listening to this hater over here, and you're always with this hater, you become a hater. If you're not an alcoholic, but you hang around people who get drunk all the time, guess what? You either do what your friends do, or you do without them. Which one is you? What are you doing? There's consequences with everything you do. Man, listen, my leadership 101 today is this: be conscious and be focused on what you're about to do. Know the outcome. Is it the outcome you're looking for? And if you don't know how to activate the principle of consequence, just check this out. You've already experienced it a lot in your life. You've already cast a pebble out into the water, and you've seen the ripple effect. But what happens is, you never get to see the balancing effect that happens in the water. Underneath the water, there's something going on. It has to be balanced again. You caused a ripple. Well, just like in this, when you cast a vision, when you cast an idea, when you're out there moving people to follow your ideas and to help embrace you and bring sense to the vision, right? There's consequence with that. So when you cast it out, it's the ripple effect, right? But now there's got to be a balance. Can you be that person that brings balance to it, where no one gets hurt, right? Oh man, I didn't mean for that to happen. Have you ever said that? I didn't know that was going to happen. We've all been there. We've all said that. I didn't mean for it to look like that, because there's consequences. So that's my word for the day. Think about that. Consequences. Man, listen, if you like what I said today, if you understood what I said today, subscribe to my channel. Give me a like. Share this with somebody. Give me some feedback. I'll tell you what. Consequences. As a leader, as someone who's trying to go to another place, think about this. Are you hurting people? Are you not helping people? Should you be doing something different? Think about that. Consequences, right? Again, I'm Ron Tijerina, and I'm a TYRO, and I am rooting for you.